Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 21 with the Baltimore Orioles. Last season ended with us finishing 103 and 59, very respectable, except for the part where we got bounced out in the first round, which is not so good. Even though this is arguably the second best, no, that's a lie. I didn't realize how good those 70s Orioles teams were. Like, yikes. We are, in fact, the fourth best Orioles team of all time, which is still an impressive achievement. And we kept the rebuild from being longer than it had to be. But here is our issue. First of all, Bob Solis is going to want a fucking mint. Oh, that's right. I did the 1-year deal for him because he was ARB eligible. That's right. And that means we're going to have an awfully high payroll in the very near future. Oh, so one of our jobs is going to be finding a way to make that manageable. And I think we can maybe manage that with a bit of luck. We also need to hire a new head scout. I think I already made an offer. Yeah, so we're going to have to wait to see how that comes out. But our biggest issue is going to be this. I don't know where we can improve. I don't know, you're kind of like, what are you talking about? But it's true. I don't know where we can actually make the team significantly better to the point where we will be in better shape. Also, holy vulture, Batman. Oh, that's right. You actually started for most of the season. Never mind. I was going to say, how on earth did you win 17 games as a reliever? You didn't. You won them as a starter. And part of the issue is we're now at the point where, with a couple of very minor exceptions, let's go to batting ratings. I don't have a scout yet. All right, I'm going to wait and talk about how the season went after we've gotten our scout. God damn it, game. Fine, 400 grand. All right. Now, if I remember, we got Smart to sign for a couple of seasons for fairly cheap. Yeah, that's great. Dozier, Burns. Fans love the Solis extension. Fans are happy about Amavisca. And we got Rivera to sign a new 1-year deal. Now, immediately, we need to evaluate how we're going to deal with Bob Solis. Now, I still don't have my freaking head scout. Come on, scout. Quit it. Just sign. Please. Okay, great. Everyone but the person I needed the most, is agreeing. Who got a gold glove? Chris Thomas and no one else. Haven't you won? Yeah, you've won 3 gold gloves so far. I did not expect that when I originally drafted you. But I'm happy with that. Finally. Okay, now I can actually potentially trust what's going on here. All right. Our biggest concern this offseason is a very interesting one that I didn't expect to have. Who is the future second baseman of the Baltimore Orioles? Is it Victor Salinas or is it Juan Lara? And I think the answer for now is that I don't know, which is really frustrating to me. Like, let's compare the two. Salinas, aka Eager Beaver, is a much better hitter. There's no disputing that. Much better contact, much less likely to strike out. But my good pal Jordan Lara, I don't know why I called him Juan earlier, it's Jordan, is a much better leadoff hitter. Because he gets on base. And he's got the potential for more contact and much more power than Salinas. Salinas is a slap-happy second baseman. Lara is not. He's a little bit more unconventional. Salinas is the much better base stealer, but not by much. And he's a much better defensive second baseman. There's no disputing he's the better defender. So the question becomes, do we keep Lara or do we consider trading him? What do we do with Luis Jimenez, who is an amazing contact hitter with decent gap power and decent ability to avoid Ks, and he's as good a defender as Cooper. Cooper is a bit more well-rounded, but he's also a potentially amazing backup. So I think our first decision is going to be an easy one this offseason. Jimenez gets added to the 40-man. I think that's very reasonable. I also can't afford to lose Navarez yet. In fact, I can't afford to lose him at all, but I definitely can't afford to lose him yet. Especially if Adley Rutschman leaves. Everyone else, I don't really care if we lost them or not. Except for Lara. Except for Lara. So the question becomes, A, how much do I believe in Salinas? And B, what could I get for Lara if I did trade him? And I guess the real question is, isn't it worth just putting him on the 40-man and seeing how he handles a repeat at AAA? And I think that might be the right answer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Lara on the 40-man as well. I've got spots. It's not like there's anyone I desperately need to hang on to. If I need to free up a spot, I probably would get rid of Megs, honestly. But I feel comfortable with those few decisions I've just made. Let's proceed. If Bob Solis is not the Silver Slugger for first base, I want to know who is. Okay. Danny Moreno was better than Willie Moreno, but Willie also played a full season and Danny didn't. Ooh, Adley Rutschman got it for catcher. Nice. Speaking of Solis, why are you not letting me offer an extension? Oh, because the new extension technically hasn't kicked in yet, not till the new league year. Right. I completely forgot about you, Carlos, so congrats. We finally got our very first MVP, which is extremely exciting. It was unanimous as well. The dude at 71 homers, I don't know how else you could vote for anyone else. Moreno finished third. Yeah. How did I get Bob Solis again? International free agency. There you go. Which I think is also true of Moreno, isn't it? No, I traded for him. What did I give up for him? I don't think it was very much. I probably did this last episode too, but it's been a while since I recorded it, so I don't remember. Yeah, that was a yikes. Although, look, Franklin Err has actually turned out to be a pretty okay starting pitcher. So it wasn't quite the highway robbery it seemed like. But, I mean, I still won the trade because I got a potential MVP, and he merely got a pretty good starter. Alright, go to free agency filings. Rushman declined the offer. I'm not surprised that he did. So, we're now in free agency, and I've got a boatload of money to spend. And the question is, what do I want to spend it on? Wait, what? Why did I lose 2 players? Oh, because Moreno isn't healthy yet. Got it. We have a decent, if not spectacular, rotation. Possibly a top tier rotation if Tim Locke gets healthier. I've got all the bullpen I need, quite frankly. I don't see any particular driving need to add any big arms that are expensive there. So what would I actually spend on? I would spend on a great third baseman. And other than that, I can't really think of anything. Like, truthfully, I could use some depth. Who couldn't? But a 1-year stopgap at catcher, maybe. I mean, I could just sign Joey Bart, but I'm not that impressed. I'm not paying that $21 million. No way, no how. I could get Daniel Cabrera back. I just don't know why I would. I like Juan Valencia, but I just don't see the point in spending that much money on a third baseman. Here's what I'm actually thinking. I signed Diego Cartaya. He's cheap. He's reasonably okay with the glove. And his bat isn't putrid, but maybe I need to aim a little higher. Because Adley Rutschman wants a lot of money, and I'm frankly not willing to pay it. And so does Joey Bart. I can't assume he'll hit 271. This is clearly a fluke. I'm not going to get sucked into overpaying for a fluke season. So I tell you what, I think we hire Cartaya. No, not for 4 years. I'll give you 3 years, 2 of which are option years. Give you $1 million if I don't rehire you this season. I also wouldn't mind picking up a cheap outfielder, maybe. Is anyone here just hot garbage? Not really. Brian Mapp kind of is. I am going to demote Consiglio for now. Just so I have a roster spot for Joe Duncan, because he's got to be out the 40-man. You're a slight hair better than the average Hall of Fame third baseman. Maybe. I'll come back to you. Freddie Freeman, yes. Easy choice. Nelson Cruz, yes. No. I do love Jose Ramirez. I've got to vote for Jose Ramirez. I can't not do it. I'm sorry. JT Realmuto is definitely better than the average Hall of Fame catcher, so I can vote for that. Rondon, no. I can be a bit choosier. Miguel Sano, absolutely not. There's so many starters at this point that are all right around the same level of competency. And it's hard for me to decide who should get in, when so many of them are just kind of eh. Like, do I vote for Adam Wainwright? Maybe. But then I vote for Adam Wainwright, I've got to vote for Steven Strasburg, who's arguably the same pitcher, if not slightly better. So I guess I vote for him too. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out what a modern Hall of Fame starting pitcher looks like. And then anyone else. I'll vote for Andrew McCutchen. And anyone who it's their final year, and I might be able to get him over the top with my vote. Nope. All right. The only player I think is really a true Hall of Famer there is probably Freddie Freeman. But, all right, you're going to give me a mediocre starting pitcher for a couple of reasonable prospects. I just don't need that right now. Don't overpay for mediocre starters. He's very impressed. Great. How do we get the most out of Doug Smart? Like, this was his worst season of his career, and there's not much disputing it. Is it an issue where he's got a hole in his swing? He does have a bit of one. If I want to maximize his value, perhaps a right-handed outfielder wouldn't be a bad choice. Look at outfielders. I mean, I could bring Daniel Cabrera back, but not at that price. Like, $17 million is a stupid amount of money to spend on essentially a backup right fielder. Especially when I could have Elijah Green for free. Heck, we could bring back old friend Austin Hendrick. Oh no, he's a lefty too. Please be Bats is right or Bats is swish. And I got like Heliot Ramos would be a good choice too, I think. Because remember, you're not going to be a starter. You're going to be a platoon guy. Because you're trying to make the most out of Doug Smart. And how bad was he against left-handed pitching last season? Batting stats, expanded. Basic is fine for what I'm looking for. Lefties made you their bitch last year. So you definitely could benefit from a platoon partner. Oh, no, I want outfielders, please. I think a guy like Heliot Ramos is exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to go and offer him a 1-year deal. We're trying to get the most out of what we've got. We're not necessarily looking for huge upgrades. Because to be honest with you, I think Luis Jimenez is going to get a real chance of starting at third base this season. I gave Mike Cooper a full season to prove what he could do. And what he could do is not very much. I think he's the new super utility guy for the team. I truly think in that sense, he works out quite well. But as far as an everyday third baseman, I just don't see it. Yeah, catcher is really the one spot that we really need. And then Moreno will come back and save us from not having a left fielder. I wonder if anyone is offering Adley Rutschman what he wants. Just out of curiosity, because I do love Adley Rutschman. His demands have already come down a significant amount. But no, I can't get suckered. I cannot get suckered. I'll tell you what I'll offer you. I'm going to put in an offer. I'm going to offer you $10 million for 1 year. That is what I believe you are currently worth. And I still think I'm overpaying you even at $10 million. Alright, he's not even thinking about it. I can't afford to commit too much money to you, my dude. Tell you what. $15 million in 2 team options. Nope. He wants his big payday, so I'm going to wish him well, but I'm not going to sign him for that. I've got much better things to spend my money on. Alright, we got ourselves a brand new catcher. Nelson Vasquez, by the way, if you ever thought that you were going to be my starting catcher, you are delusional. I'm sorry that the fans are unhappy about that, but I wasn't going to pay $18 million to him. Enjoy your time with El Paso. And I guess Mike Everman is just going to be the starting shortstop this season, and we're going to see what he can do in a full season. Ugh, I really don't want him starting. Is there a good shortstop left? Alright, let's use filters. Don't even talk to me if you're not a 60. Tamar Johnson isn't terrible. I remember you. I almost drafted you a long time ago. I'm going to go ahead and sign Salovia to a minor league deal because I think that's quite nice. I mean, Everman is certainly not the worst choice I could make. Just letting him play. As long as he's a good enough shortstop, I can punt on his batting average or his offensive capabilities. No one else I particularly feel in a rush to promote. How was your first full minor league season, Kevin Carter? It was pretty great. I think you've earned a promotion to high A. But that's our biggest issue right now, is we just don't have depth in the minors. We've got some interesting players, but certainly nothing that I would definitely say is great. This is not like an Indian situation. I'm not spending because I can't. I'm not spending because there's nobody worth spending on. Like, unless there's an elite starter here, and I'm pretty sure there isn't. Like, Willie De Los Santos is fine, but all he is fine. So yeah, there's nobody here. Yeah, Andy Neal, you're delusional if you think you're getting $14 million. You're more delusional than Johnny Delusional from Delusional Incorporated. Like, if someone wants to give you a chance to be a starter and you're successful, congratulations, but I'm not going to take those walk rates as a starter. It just ain't happening, my dude. Now, there's a bunch of relievers here. There's not really much else. I'm going to go ahead and just finish the rest of the draft. I'm not missing much. You signed with Seattle for $19 million a year. I wish you well, but something tells me that they're not going to earn their money for you. I only get a second round pick. I guess that's fine. And I'm sorry that the fans are sad, but I'm not going to spend extra money like that just for the purposes of doing it. Wow, they're really mad about losing him too. Now it's down to 84. St. Louis, you gave him $20 million a season on a hope and a prayer that he can turn out to be a good starter. Man. You know what, St. Louis? I don't even wish you well. This was a dumb move. This was super dumb. That may be the dumbest decision that anyone made this offseason. I'm glad you're having a nice little career. I got Ramos. I'm very happy about that. You're going to be a very useful player on my team. Freeman and Cruz got in. Price didn't. Any other big names drop out? Not really. Yeah. I'm not too shocked about any of these. I'm a little shocked that David Price didn't get elected. I'm really hopeful that OOTP considers rebalancing how the AI considers some Hall of Famers. Because it's going to be awful hard to become a Hall of Fame starter if your standard is what existed in the major leagues back in the day. Because we'll never see another 300 game winner again, I don't think. I think, who is it? Roger Clemens is going to be the last one. Or Randy Johnson. Did Randy Johnson win 300? Now I've got to check. Like, Randy Johnson was a no doubt about it Hall of Famer anyway, but... Give me pitcher wins. Oh, Greg Maddox retired after Clemens. I forgot about Greg Maddox. Yeah, Randy Johnson didn't get to 300, so I was right about Randy Johnson being a possibility. But yeah, I think Randy Johnson will be the last one. It's too hard to even win 200 games with 5-man rotations. I can't even imagine trying to do it. And you have to be damn good to even get 200 wins at this point. This is another deal. Chicago, I don't know why. Why did you give this man this much money? What possessed you to look at his past performance the last few years and go, that's worth $20 million a year? I don't know. I think you are silly. And most importantly, it's a new league year. Hi, Bob. How about this? 6 years. I'll pay you $20 million a year for sure. Done. Yeah, Joe Duncan, you're not coming back. So I hope you enjoyed your brief time in Baltimore, because it's over. And then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of the team till closer to the end of the season. Like, am I going to sign a Maya for $10 million a year? Maybe. Maybe. We'll talk about it. Easy call. Just such an easy call. Now, this could obviously come back to bite me on the ass if he fails dramatically. And he might. He definitely might. But I'm pretty sure he won't. He's from Garfield Heights. Neat. I would like you to spend $15 million on scouting this year. And let's do the same thing for player development. There we go. Got a new Panamanian player. Huh. What a good find. Yeah, he could be a very special player. I thoroughly approve of that. Alright, spring training time. You know the drill. We're going to go to a 6-man rotation. I like how Joe Duncan doesn't even crack the rotation anymore. Nor should he. Nor should he. And then go ahead and do all the things. Why is Luis Jimenez not even being considered to play third? Alright, let me make this super easy for you, game. I don't want Boyd in the major leagues. We've tried that, right? We've tried to let him play in the majors, and he isn't very good at it. Can I trade him for a quality prospect at any position? Like, literally any position. I don't even care. I just want him off the 40-man. You know what? Come on down, Trey Parker. Done. Now let me redo it. You know what, game? You can't be trusted. Jimenez is my starting third baseman. He is getting the reps in spring training to see how he handles playing third base. Just deal with it, dude. And then Ramos. This is fine, actually. We'll just rotate people in and out just to get them up to speed. I am fine with that. So you want me to give you a prospect that's better than yours for nothing? Hard pass. Player development. No huge surprises. Okay. Joe Duncan is injured. Good for him. I need more. I need one more season before I sign you to a major deal like that. Am I being unfair? Maybe a little bit, but that's a massive amount of money. Jordan Diaz, I will think about signing you to a longer deal. What do you want? Almost as much as Amaya. I don't feel like paying a designated hitter that much money. And I sure as shit ain't gonna let you play third base. Because your range is awful. And I know that's not a huge deal for a third baseman, but it's a big enough deal that I ain't doing it. So, yeah. Would you quit offering me bad deals? Just stop insulting me. That man will never pitch for the Major League Orioles. Just not ever. Like, hustlers gotta hustle, I get it, but come on, dude. You're gonna miss a couple 3 days. That's fine. right, let's start making roster decisions. We've got 37 players on the roster right now. All right. Map and Megs. I'm going to waive you. I'm going to designate you both for assignment. How many pitchers do I have now? I have 17. I don't need 17 pitchers. Minors. Oh, you are a lefty. How many lefties do I have in the pen? I also have Vasquez. I don't want to lose him, but I will send him to the minors. One more pitcher, fine. 1, 2, 3. I have 6 starters because they're flagging Dozier as a starter. Which isn't the worst idea I've ever heard. I just don't think it's an idea that I want to mess with right now. Like, man is obviously the choice, right? But if I can't have man, I guess I'll send down... Man, Vasquez was pretty consistently good last season. I think he's too good at... He's performed too darn well to send him down. Castaneda picked up a third pitch. He picked up a changeup. Castaneda, I would like you to be a starting pitcher. I'm going to try it. We're going to give him a season. I'm going to say you're a starting pitcher. And we're going to see what happens. Because if you can maximize your abilities as a starter, you're just that much more valuable to me. Either as a trade chip or as someone who actually plays on the team. Do I let Dozier start this season? Like, he's been so good out of the bullpen as a multi-inning reliever. I kind of don't want to risk it. But maybe that's just where we are right now. I need to give him his fair shot to see if he can be a starter. I mean, Mets certainly wasn't anything that impressive. Locke had a full season in AAA, right? He had most of a full season in AAA. Yeah, I think Locke has too much potential to be sent back to the minors. I think maybe we leave Mets as the odd man out and see if Dozier can handle starting in the majors. I don't need 3 catchers. And I think this is probably it for Vasquez. Because Navarez does everything he does, but better. So I think I'm actually going to trade him. What kind of prospects can I get for a reasonable catcher? I can get nothing for him. Well, then, Vasquez, you're off to the minors. Lara. Back to the minors for one more season, but you are awfully close. Especially because Salinas wants so bloody much money. And I'm not convinced he's worth it. Okay. Am I being blind by insisting on Everman over Burrows? Everman's got more gap power. But Burrows is the better power hitter. Everman can't hit left-handed pitching at all. Burrows is the better base runner. Everman is better range, but Burrows has a much better arm. I think maybe we let Burrows start. I think we give him the chance to be the starting shortstop. Jimenez at third, with Cooper waiting in the wings as a super utility guy. With Cooper, do I need Burns? I don't believe that I do. You're going to the minors. Got to get rid of 3 more players. They're all going to be outfielders. Consiglio demoted. I'd kind of like to send down Everman, but I can't without exposing him to waivers. Everyone plays second and short. I have Cooper to play third. But I want to see if Jimenez can hit in the majors. So I can't send down Jimenez. That is not an option. Like, you had 250 in the majors. That's not nothing. But your complete uselessness against left-handed pitching definitely weakens your usefulness to this team. At the same token, though, I don't want to lose Meyer or send him down because Meyer's going to be the everyday backup outfielder. Fuck. I'm changing my mind. I think Burrows starts in the minors this season. Yes, Burrows starts in the minors, but I don't think he'll be here long. This is only because you still got room to improve. If I didn't think you could do better with a full season of AAA, I wouldn't do it. But Everman, you're on a very short leash. I need to see quality hitting out of you. So you're on notice, my friend. All right. Anyone that needs to be added to the 40-man? I don't believe so. No. All right. Opening day it is. This was a quiet offseason, I know, but we didn't have a whole lot that we needed to do either. Hey, Kevin Carter at number 10. So let's set up the roster. All right, clear this pitching staff. All right, I am committed to giving Sean Dozier his turn in the rotation. My ace is Rivera. I believe that is still the case. He led the league in strikeouts. He got the job done. Very happy with Rivera as the number 1. Purely by potential, Dozier would be my number 2 if all I cared about was this rating here. Or, sorry, I need pitching ratings. There you go. But I think it's got to be Thomas. Thomas has been rock solid, and I think he's earned his spot as the number 2 starter. Then after Thomas comes Dozier, then Hoskins, and then Locke as the 5th starter. And I'm definitely treating you with kid gloves because you're my only actual like pitching prospect. Like I'm not saying you're the next Jack Leiter, but I'm saying you're the next, you know, you're definitely the next Brandon Hendricks, for instance. So I definitely want to nurture you and make sure you have a chance to succeed. And then Ben Metz, you're the emergency starter this year. All relievers. So my two closer candidates are Andy Cullen and Chris Brandt, and I think I'm going to pick Andy Cullen again. I think Cullen did just fine as a closer last season, so it's going to be Cullen beginning in 8th plus. Then I think Udaka and Ocasio as my setup guys. Who had the better season last year? Ocasio actually hasn't earned it yet. Ocasio, you're going to be a generic middle reliever. Devin Mann, I think you're going to get middle relief, long relief. Mets is emergency starter, long relief. Still got 4 pitchers left. Amavisca, you're going to get specialist, middle relief. Udaka and Brandt are definitely probably my best setup choices. Although Brandt got lit up too. Like, honestly, Steve Reese has been the only one. No, even he's getting. Everyone gets lit up. Do I do setup by committee? Or do I trust to Udaka? I'm spending a lot of money on Udaka. I'm going to give him a shot to be my setup guy. And then I'm going to make you both middle relievers. And then we'll let you pitch your way into a specific role on the pitching staff. All right, lineups. Cullen, you're a little bit too important now to be used as a two-way player. So I'm going to tell you, no, you're no longer a two-way player guy. I don't mind Devin Mann doing a bit of pinch hitting every now and again, but definitely not anyone else. All right, nuke it. All right. The best hitter on the team is Danny Moreno, followed by Bob Solis. Moreno's got better plate discipline, so Solis is going to be cleanup. Diaz. Second. That then leaves number 5 for Amaya, which I think is his ideal position. Or I could do Diaz lead off. No. I think Salinas lead off is still my best choice for the short term. He was fine last season, and he was fine the season before. He's not the ideal leadoff guy because I don't think he draws enough walks, but I'll take it. Hitting 6th against righties is going to be Doug Smart. Then I think I trust Cartaya more than Jimenez to hit. Then Jimenez. And then Everman as the shortstop. Backups, Navarez, you're going to be the utility guy. But I'm also going to let you start once every week. Devin Mann, are you at all decent at playing first? You're decent enough to be my backup. Cooper, you're going to be my super sub at all the other positions. Ramos backs up at right and at DH. And Meyer covers the other two positions. There we go. In terms of pinch hitters, Ramos, Mann, Navarez. Pinch runners, Meyer, and Mann. Alright, so we're going to copy both of these. Or make this real easy. I'm going to go boop. Now, is Cooper a good shortstop? He is a pretty good shortstop. And the thing is, Everman is absolute trash at hitting lefties. So I'm actually going to go ahead and let Cooper start against lefties. I think this is getting the most out of our 26-man roster. I'm also going to set Everman as the defensive sub at shortstop if we need one. And then top pinch hitters are going to be Mann, Navarez, and Smart. There we go. I think this lineup has a ton of potential this season. We had very big seasons out of pretty much everyone up and down the lineup. I think we've papered over some of our biggest holes. I don't anticipate for a moment that Diego Cortaya will hit as well as Adley Rutschman did last season. But I think he'll look better than Adley Rutschman will this season. Because I think expecting Rutschman to hit that well again is kind of a fool's errand. And Navarez is waiting. And his wait may be a very short one. But for now, he's my backup. That may not be for very long. Moreno playing the full season would be massive. Repeat performances from Solis and Diaz would not go amiss. We're not really adding any big new players to the lineup, with the exception of third and short. And catcher, I guess. So we're changing the lineup, but it's mostly at the bottom of the order. But we still have a very strong defense, which is the one thing I wanted to make sure we had. And look, I'm hoping that, because Doug Smart is pretty cheap, right? We're not spending very much money on him. I'm hoping that if we stop him from batting against left-handed hitting, that we'll get the kind of performance that we've seen from him in years past. I mean, there's nothing wrong with hitting 36 homers, but when you do it and only get on base at a 313 clip, that's kind of yikes. So I'm hoping that we extend his career, or his usefulness to me, rather, a bit longer by doing that. But I'm going to be honest. The X factor is going to be Salinas. If Salinas continues to hit 300, I think the rest of his game is good enough to make him a good leadoff guy. If he can't, he's not. And he's also not a great second baseman. So Lara is definitely going to be in consideration, as is Burrows. So we could see another change in the middle infield next season. But until we get the best possible choice for our team, I'm going to keep making changes where I have to. Because that's what a good GM does. But I think that'll be it for this episode. I hope y'all have enjoyed the series thus far. If you have, please remember to give a like and a subscription to the channel if you haven't already. Comments are always appreciated. And one thing I'm going to say right now, I know I said I would end the series once we got to 20 seasons. But to be honest, I think right around then, OOTP 22 will come out. And so I think I'll just stick with the Orioles until 22 comes out. However many seasons that ends up being. And we'll talk about the next season next episode. So thanks again. And until next time, this has been Indian. Thank you for watching. And I bid you good day.